Next we are going to see about the characteristics of that center of mass. Center of mass depends upon that masses of the particle and their relative position. If the positions are somewhat larger distance from the origin, the distance is certain value. If it is very closer, the distance is smaller. So that's why the center of mass of the system of particle depends upon the mass of the particles and their relative positions. Then for a continuous mass distribution, center of mass depends upon the mass distribution and shape. There we can take one example. Suppose a circular disc. Center of mass is act at the geometric center. Next shape of the object, square or rectangular shape of the object we have taken. The shape is different. The center of mass is act at the point of intersection of the diagonals. This point. This is the point of intersection of the diagonal. Here, the actual center it is acting. That's why for a continuous distribution of masses, center of mass depends upon the mass distribution and the shape. We can take on different shapes. Then we will take on that values of actual center, intersection of the diagonal. Then if we have a 2 or 3 particle or many particles that form a system, that we have a center of mass. Suppose example, 2 particle system. That center of mass is at this point. From the center of mass, first particle m1, second particle m2. Their distance r1 and r2. Suppose origin is coincident at the center of mass. M2 is in the positive right side, M1 is in the left side. If it is taken in xy axis, x prime and y prime, then R2 value is in a taken positive value, R1 is in taken in negative value. If you make a sum of the product of mass and the position vector, its product value is a positive. M1 and R1 product value is a negative. But the two product values are equal and opposite. That's why at that center of mass, algebraic sum of, or if you take on a vector sum of the moment of the masses, that is sum of moment of the masses about the center of mass is 0. There we have a most important formula. If you take a 2 particle system, taken like that. If you have n particle system, whatever may be there, at the center of mass, the moment of masses vector sum if you make, resultant value becomes a 0. That is the second point. That is sum of moments of mass. Moments of mass is nothing but product of mass and that position vector. About the center of mass is a 0. Next one is the system may be in inertial frame or non-inertial frame. Whatever may be there, the system center of mass does not changes. That's why we are taken center of mass is independent of on frame of reference chosen to locate. If you may place the object in a inertial frame or non-inertial frame, center of mass does not changes. Center of mass does not changes. Okay. Next, total mass need not to be placed at that center. It may be distributed certain distance. That's why the mass need not be present at the center of mass. When that rigid body or system of particle makes a motion, the particles may be makes both translation motion and rotational motion, but center of mass only makes a pure translation motion only. Example, on a road, one of the circular disc is rolling. that the disk is moves from one position to another position. Each and every particle makes rotational as well as the translation, but center of mass makes only translational. That is given. Motion of the center of mass is purely translational. Whatever may be that object rotates or moves in a particular direction. Okay. Next, motion of the center of mass is obeys that Newton's second law. If it is accelerated, the center of mass is accelerated, the acceleration is proportional to that applied unbalanced force. This is given by that Newton's second law. That is, sixth point, the motion of the center of mass is according to that Newton's second law. These are the characteristics of that center of mass. First point is, for a continuous mass distribution, center of mass is depends upon the distribution of the mass and the shape. Next point is, sum of that moment of the masses about that center of mass is 0. It may be a two particle system or any number of particle system. There sum of that moment of masses are about the center of mass is 0. Next, center of mass is independent of frame of reference. It may be a inertial frame or non-inertial frame. Center of mass does not changes. Next, all the masses of an object need not to be at that center of mass. It may be distributed certain distance. Next, that center of mass motion is purely translational, not rotational. Whatever may be that a system moves. Okay. Motion of the center of mass depends upon that is obeys that Newton's second law. Then we are going to see about that mutual forces between that bodies. Suppose two bodies we are taken. The two may be arranged in certain distance. The two particles are mass particles. Between that gravitational force may be acting. Due to that gravitational force, the two are attracted. If the two are attracted, that meet at one particular point. In which point it may be meted means at the center of mass point that is meet. That is, when two particles approaches each other due to their mutual interaction. Example, that is a gravitational force. Then they always meet at their center of mass itself. Next, if you have a two particle system, initially suppose arranged at a certain distance, m1 and m2. M2 arranged in a certain distance. In between that particular point, we have the center of mass of that system. Initially, the two are arranged, their distance can be taken as R1 and R2. Suppose due to that gravitational force or any external force, if you apply it, then the mass m1 may be moved certain distance from here to certain d distance, shifted from this point to here. If we no need to change the position of the center of mass, we want to move that second mass also. Certain distance towards that center of mass, we want to move that second mass also. That moving distance can be calculated based on that principle of moment. What is that principle of moment? m1 x1 equal to m2 x2. Magnitude alone means no need that negative sign. But one is moved towards the right means another one is moved towards the left. That's why we want to put that negative sign. Based on that principle of moment, we will find that distance of moving that m2 can be calculated. Minus is put by the opposite direction movement, m1 divided by m2 into d. Here that point is, in a system of two particles of the masses m1 and m2, when m1 is pushed towards that m2 through a distance d, from our formula d x1 is taken as a d, then shifting m2 towards m1 without altering the center of mass position is, that is x2. That's why from our formula x2 is equal to minus m1 by m2 into x1. But in our given point that is a d distance. That's why minus m1 by m2 into d. Then another point is that a boy of mass small m, one boy is going to stand on that horizontal flat surface of a boat, stationary boat. But that boat having a mass m, their length also we have. We have a boat, still boat. It is in the water. Boy is standing here. Their length is taken into L. Boy mass is small m, boat mass is capital M. Boy is going to move from one end of the boat to that another end of the boat. At the time the boat moves in backward direction, boy move in a forward direction. There we have a distance moved by the boy with respect to the boat as well as the respect to the ground also. And backward direction that boat is moved with respect to the ground. But initially boat is at rest. Boy is standing in one end, but he is going to move from one end to another end. Traveling distance is L distance. For that, based on that, we will calculate that how much distance the boat is moved in opposite direction. We can calculate. Listen that a boy of mass m is at one end of a flat boat of a mass capital M and length L, which floats stationary in the water. If a boy moves towards the other end, the boat moves in opposite direction through a distance. How much distance? That is formula small d is equal to minus ml divided by capital M plus small m. Small m is the mass of the boy, capital M is the mass of the boat. Why we are mentioning that value is a negative? Boat is moves in opposite direction as compared to that boy movement. That's why we are putting there minus. Then we have another formula, motion of that boy with respect to the ground. Already, how much L distance he is travelled on that boat. But boat is moves in backward direction, boy is moves in a forward direction. So that's why the displacement of the boy with respect to the ground, d prime is equal to mass of the boat divided by mass of the boat plus mass of that boy into L, actual length of the boat. That is the displacement of the boy with respect to the ground is d prime is equal to capital M into L divided by capital M plus small m. Then a boy of mass m, same thing, but that boy has a velocity. In a certain velocity, he is moving from one end of the boat to that another end. At the time, the boat is moving in a backward direction. That boat also having a velocity, but opposite direction it has a negative velocity. With respect to the boat, the boy having a velocity Vr. With respect to the ground, the boy has a velocity certain value, that is v prime is equal to m divided by capital M divided by capital M plus small m into Vr. Capital M is the mass of the boat, small m is the mass of the boy. Another one is the velocity of the boat with respect to the ground. V should be equal to minus that negative sign says their velocity of that boat is in the opposite direction as compared to the boy. Minus small m into Vr divided by capital M plus small m. That is a very important formula. These two are. Once again listen, that is the boy of mass m is standing on a flat boat of the mass capital M floating stationary on that surface of water. If the boy starts moving on that boat, its its velocity is Vr with respect to the boat. With respect to the boat. Then velocity of that boat with respect to the ground is taken as V is equal to minus small m into Vr divided by capital M plus small m, because of that the boat is moves in opposite direction as compared to that buoy movement, that is a negative value. Then velocity of that buoy with respect to the ground is a positive value only, capital M divided by capital M plus small m into Vr. Then by removing of the mass or adding of the mass, center of mass may be shifted. There we are going to see that addition of the mass. Due to the addition of the mass, in which side we are adding the mass, that same side the center of mass is shifted. Example, we are taken one system having a mass. Its center of mass is acting this side. That is a intersection. If it is a rectangle, at the intersection of the diagonal, the center of mass is acting. At the right side of that rectangle, we are going to add the additional mass. On which side the center of mass is shifted means which side we are adding the mass, that same side that the center of mass is shifted. From it is the initial center of mass, it is the final center of mass. Due to that adding of that mass, center of mass is shifting in the side of adding the mass. There distance may be taken as a d. Initial position of the center of mass is C1, final position of the center of mass is C2. Then distance between the C1 and C2 can be taken as a d. Once again listen that due to the addition of that mass, center of mass of the system is generally shifts towards that region where the mass is added. Shift towards that region where the mass is added, and the shifting value can be taken as del x shift equal to mass added into d. Small d is nothing but distance between that initial center of mass to that final center of mass divided by initial mass plus added mass. That shifting value equal to mass added into distance between that initial center of mass to that final center of mass divided by total mass. Total mass is nothing but initial mass plus adding mass. Okay. Due to that removal of the mass, their center of mass is shifted. In which side of that object center of mass is that is which side of that object mass is removed, that opposite direction center of mass is moved. Example, if you take a spherical object, it may be a r radius spherical object. Their center of mass initially acting at the center point. Suppose some part of the mass is going to remove. What part is going to remove means that small sphere of the mass we are going to remove. Their radius can be taken as r by 2. This part is going to remove. That removed part center of mass is acting here, but this part is removed. Due to that remove, this side we have a greater mass. That side mass is reduced. That's why final center of mass is going to shift at this point. Then it can be taken as C2. That distance can be taken as a d. Then we have that shifting value, del x value. But in which side we are removing? In that opposite side, that center of mass is moves. So that's why that formula is taken in the negative. Minus mass removed into small d. Small d is nothing but distance between that initial center of mass to that final center of mass divided by initial mass minus removed mass. We have some comparison between the addition of mass and the removal of mass. If it is added, center of mass is shifted towards the region where we added. In that removal of mass, which side we are removing, that opposite side center of mass is shifted. That's why for adding that the shifting value is a positive, removing the shifting value is in a negative. Shifting value in a negative. For adding del x shift equal to mass added into d divided by initial mass plus mass added. If you remove shift value is negative minus mass removed into d divided by initial mass minus removed mass. That is a very major principle to calculating that shifting of that center of mass. New center of mass can be calculated based on that whether if you remove you can use this formula. So sorry, remove we can use this formula, add we can use this formula. Next we are going to see that the problem regarding to that center of mass and system of the particles. The first one is going to see that two spherical bodies of mass. First spherical body having a mass small m, second one having 5m, and radius are small r and second one has a 2r. Then the 2 are released from a free space with initial separation between the centers. Suppose example, two spheres are going to taken. Its radius is small r, 2r, their centers. Distance is 12r. That's why the edges distance. Totally here r and here 2r. That's why from the 12r we are separating that 3r, we will get that is 9r. So that's why the two objects can move totally that 9r distance only, because and the free space only can be moved. That's why suppose the two are moved towards each other with a gravitational attractive force, where it is meted at the center of mass. Where it can be meted at the center of mass. Let we assume this point is a center of mass, RCM. It will move a certain distance. First one m1, second one m2. They are moving distance r1. Second one moving distance r2. Total moving distance can be taken as r1 plus r2, that is equal to 9r, where it is meted at the center of mass. Based on the principle of moment, that is m1 r1 equal to m2 r2. That's why based on the principle of moment, m1 r1 equal to m2 r2. So if you substitute their masses, first one mass is small m, r1. Second one mass is 5m into r2. From that we will cancel that r and r, so m and m. We will get that is r1 is equal to 5r2. First mass is a small mass, it moves a larger distance. As compared to the second mass, it moves a 5r distance. If you substitute that r1 value here, 5r2 plus r2 equal to 9r. That is 6r2 is equal to 9r. R2 equal to 9 by 6r, that is 1.5r. Then we get that R2 value based on this formula, R1 plus R2 equal to 9R. Here you are substituting that R2 value, R1 plus 1.5 R equal to 9R. From that we will get R1 is equal to 7.5 R. Distance moved by the smaller particle is 7.5 R. As compared to the radius, 7.5 times it is moved. Which one is? Smaller particle moves this distance. Larger particle moves what distance? 1.5 R distance. 1.5 R distance. What they are asking? If they are attracted each other due to the gravitational force only, then the distance covered by that small body before collision, that's value is 7.5 R. instead of a small body, they will replace that large body means, what is that option? That is a 1.5 R. So that is a first problem completed. Next, second problem. In that second problem, there we have here 3 mass particles. The 3 masses are placed on the x-axis. Their masses are, first one mass 300 gram at the origin, where it is placed means origin it is placed. Second mass 500 gram at x is equal to 40 centimeter, and third mass 400 gram at x is equal to 70 centimeter. Then the distance of the center of mass from the origin is. For that, we will take on that diagram. X-axis, y-axis. First mass is coincident with that origin. M1 is placed in that origin. That value is 300 gram. In that 0.3 kilogram. Second mass going to place here M2. That's the mass value is 500 gram, 0.5 kg. Their distance is x2, that is taken 40 centimeter. Next, third object, that is place this point. M3 can be taken as 400 gram, that is 0.4 kilogram. Their distance is x3. x3 value is 70 centimeter. Here M1 is coincident with that origin. That's why x1 value is 0. M2 is 40 centimeter distance. x2 value is 40 centimeter. M3 is 70 centimeter distance. So based on our given value, we can easily calculate that center of mass, that is x suffix cm equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3. Here x1 value is 0, so that's why this factor becomes a 0. So remaining alone we have, so that's value we are going to substitute. xcm is equal to m2 value is 0.5 into x2 value 40 centimeter plus m3 value 0.4 kilogram into 70 centimeter divided by total mass. We want to add all the 3 masses, 0.3 plus 0.5, that is a 0.8 plus 0.4, that is 1.2. Then we will get 0.5 into 40 centimeter, 20 centimeter plus 0.4 into 70, that is 28 centimeter divided by 1.2. Then we will get 48 centimeter divided by 1.2 equal to 40 centimeter at the distance of, from the origin, at the distance of 40 centimeter, center of mass is acting. We can take an, already the second mass is at that 40 centimeter distance. That's why at the center of that second mass, the center of mass is acting. Center of mass is acting at that 40 centimeter. So that is the answer. 40 centimeter is answer. You will get that formula. xcm is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3. Here x1 value is 0. The term is, we are omitting, other values we are substituting. We will get, that is a 40 centimeter distance. Okay, that is a first option is our answer. We are going to see that third problem. 2 bodies of masses, that is 1 kilogram first mass m1 and second mass m2, that is 3 kilogram, have position vectors I cap plus 2j cap plus k cap. This is taken as r1 vector, and minus 3 I cap minus 2j cap plus k cap, this can be taken as R2 vector. Masses are M1 and M2, that is 1 kilogram and 3 kilogram. They are position vectors correspondingly. First one is I cap plus 2 j cap plus k cap, and the second one position vector is minus 3 I cap minus 2 j cap plus k cap respectively. The center of mass of the system as the position vector we will calculate, that is RCM vector equal to position of the center of mass vector equal to M1 R1 vector plus M2 R2 vector divided by M1 plus M2. So we are going to substitute both values. First one mass is 1 into position vector. First one position vector is I cap plus 2 j cap plus k cap. Second one mass is 3 kilogram. 3 into the position vector is minus 3 I cap minus 2 j cap plus k cap divided by the masses are 1 plus 3, that is 4. That's why 1 by 4 of I cap plus 2 j cap plus 2 k cap minus 9 I cap minus 6 j cap plus 3 k cap. We are summing that I cap, j cap and k cap, we will get 1 by 4 of, that is a minus 8 I cap minus 4 j cap plus 4 k cap. So if you take on that 4 inside, we will get minus 2 I cap minus j cap plus k cap. That is the answer for that center of mass. So you check that second one, that is minus 2 I cap minus j cap plus k cap. That is the answer for that third problem. We are using the formula RCM vector is equal to M1 into R1 vector plus M2 into R2 vector divided by M1 plus M2. If you substitute that values, you will get finally center of mass of the system is minus 2 I cap minus j cap plus k cap. That is the second option. Next we are going to see that fourth problem. Consider a system of two particles having a masses M1 and M2. Particles masses M1 is pushed towards that mass towards the center of mass particle through a distance d. By what distance a particle would the particle would mass M2 move, so that keep the center of mass of that particle in the origin. Example, initially for a fourth problem, initially the two are M1 and M2 are placed at certain distance. Their center of mass acting one particular point. If this mass is going to push certain distance, what distance that is moved, d distance that is moved. This is acted by either external force or internal force. That is, suppose gravitational force is acting to take on this object from here to certain distance. What distance? D distance, M1. If the object M1 only moves, M2 is at rest, means center of mass is shifted. Center of mass is shifted away from the movement. Now we want to bring the center of mass at that same point. For that, second mass want to move in the opposite side. For that, original position the center of mass want to maintain. The second one want to push this. X distance I want to push. Based on the principle of momentum. What is that formula? Principle of momentum means M1 x1 is equal to M2 x2. x1 is considered as d distance. x1 is considered as d. x2 is taken as x. Then we can take an M1 x1 equal to. We will use that negative sign here because in which direction that M1 is moved, the opposite direction, that is M2 move. M1 x1 minus M2 x2. Here we are substituting M1 into d equal to minus m2 into x, then x is equal to minus m1 divided by m2 into d. Magnitude alone means m1 by m2 into d. With including the direction, we want to substitute that minus. Want to check that our options. First option is not matched. Second option is matched, but negative sign is omitted. Amount of movement alone represented. That's why second option is our answer. Second option is our option. That is m1 by m2 into d. Inversely proportional to the mass, we can say, because m1 by m2, because we are moving m2, but we are in our formula m1 by m2. The inversely proportional to the mass we can take, and that is the fourth problem. Next, fifth problem. A rigid body, consider that 3 kg mass located there, position vector r1 vector is equal to 2 I cap plus 5 j cap meter, and 2 kg mass located at the r2 vector, that is 4 I cap plus 2 j cap meter. Position of the center of mass, already third problem, similar method we are going to use for the fifth problem. RCM vector equal to m1 r1 vector plus m2 r2 vector divided by m1 plus m2. The two masses only we have taken, that's why formula is this. If substituted RCM vector equal to m1 mass is 3 kg mass located at that r1 position. That's why m1 is 3 into 2 I cap plus 5 j cap. Two dimensional manner we are getting the position vector of the center of mass. Then plus second mass is 2 kg, 2 into, that is 4 I cap plus 2 j cap divided by 5. Then we substituted 6 I cap plus 15 j cap plus 8 I cap plus 4 j cap divided by 5. Then totally 14 I cap plus 19 j cap divided by 5. We have the answer. 14 I cap plus 19 j cap divided by 5. Want to check that options? That is the second option is our answer. Here some change is there. Split that 5. 14 divided by 5 I cap plus 19 divided by 5 j cap. That is the second option is our answer. Consists of two masses connected to a massless rod. Here we have one of the rod at one end m2 is placed in a certain point from the one of the end, that is 2 meter distance. We are placing that 0.4 kg. At the opposite end from the origin we have placed that 0.6 kg where the center of mass is acting. Based on that x-axis component, it is taken as a rod. This is the distance of 2 meter. This is the distance of 7 meter. Here we are placed the first mass m1 is equal to 0.4 kg and it is the m2, that is 0.6 kg. So that's why x1 is equal to 2 meter, x2 is equal to 7 meter. From the origin, first mass is 2 meter distance, second mass is 7 meter distance. Based on that formula for the center of mass in that x-axis, xcm is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 divided by m1 plus m2. The first one mass is 0.4, the distance is 2 meter. Then second mass is 0.6 into 7 meter divided by 0.4 plus 0.6. You will get 0.4 into 2, 0.8 plus 0.6 into 7, 4.2 divided by 1 equal to 5 divided by 1 equal to 5 meter. That is the answer of our question. Third option is our answer. A system consists of two masses connected by a massless rod lies along the x-axis. Distance of the center of mass from the origin 0 meter or O position. The distance point is taken 5 meter point from the origin. Center of mass is acting. That is XCM is acting at the 5 meter. That is the sixth question. Next one is the seventh one. Three identical spheres. Identical sphere means three spheres are having a same masses and same radius. Each of mass m and radius are placed touching each other so that their center of masses A, B, C lies on the straight line. The position of the center of mass from the center of A. That's why for a seventh one, xy axis we are mentioning is the origin. At the origin is coincident with that first one. Their mass is m and the radius is second one, identical one. Their radius also r. Their mass also m. Third one, same mass and same radius. That's why here m1 equal to m2 equal to m3 is equal to m because of identical. First one is coincident at that origin. That's why x1 is equal to 0. Second one is here their distance x2 is equal to r plus r, that is 2r. Then third one is attached contact with that second one, their distance x3 equal to another 2r we want to take. That is totally 4r for the x3. So because of that first sphere is placed, the first sphere center is coincident with the origin of our two-dimensional axis, and that second one, third one is make contact with that first one. So that's why m1, m2, m3 all are identical, same mass. So x1 value is 0, x2 is 2r, x3 is 4r. Based on our formula for the center of mass, xcm is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3. Because of that x1 is a 0, this factor becomes a 0. Remaining one we are going to substitute. xcm is equal to m2 value is m into 2r plus m3 also m into 4r divided by total mass is 3m. M is common, we are cancelling that m. In the numerator we will get 6r divided by 3 is equal to 2r. Our answer is 2r. Want to check that? Second option is our answer. Once again listen the question. Three identical spheres, each of mass m, radius r, are placed touching each other so that their centers A, B, C, the centers are named as A, B, C, lies on a straight line. The position of their center of mass from the center of A. From the center of A. That's why A center is coincident at the origin. Why we are coincident that center of that A is at the origin means from the center of A. That's why x1 value is 0, x2 value is 2r, x3 value is 4r. Substituting we will get that is from the origin 2r distance. 2r distance is where? Center of that second sphere. Center of the second sphere, the center of the mass is acting. That's why that is a 2R is our answer. Eighth problem. Three particles of masses. M1 is 1 kilogram, M2 is 2 kilogram, and M3 is 3 kilogram are subjected to a forces. On first mass, the force is acting force vector F1 vector. On that second mass, F2 vector is acting. On that third mass, F3 vector is acting. The magnitude of that acceleration of that center of mass of the system. So we have the acceleration formula. ACM equal to M1A1 plus M2A2. That is a vector formula we have. That is ACM vector is equal to M1A1 vector plus M2A2 vector plus M3A3 vector divided by M1 plus M2 plus M3. We know that product of that mass into acceleration is nothing but force. That's why ACM vector is equal to F1 vector plus F2 vector plus F3 vector divided by M1 plus M2 plus M3. Their masses. What is the value for the masses? 1 kilogram, 2 kilogram, 3 kilogram. If you add our mass, ACM vector equal to F1 value we have, afterwards we will substitute F1 vector plus F2 vector plus F3 vector divided by total mass is 6 kilogram. That's why ACM vector equal to 1 by 6 of F1 vector plus F2 vector plus F3 vector. You add all the force vectors. First one is 3 I cap minus 2 j cap plus 2 k cap plus second force is minus I cap plus 2 j cap minus k cap. Next one is plus I cap plus j cap plus k cap. Again 1 by 6 of their I cap values are going to add up. 3 I cap minus 1 I cap, that is a 2 I cap, that is a 3 I cap. We cancel it. And next j cap value, these two are cancelled, plus j cap, k cap values, plus k cap and minus k caps are cancelled, plus 2 k cap. Their vector value is the. Want to find the magnitude. What do you want to take on? Modulus. For that, want to find that modulus. If you take a modulus, magnitude alone you will get. That is a square root of. That is a 1 by 6 whole square into 3 square plus 1 square plus 2 square. ACM is equal to 1 by 6 whole square and the square root of taken 1 by 6 into square root of 9 plus 1 plus 4. Then we will get that is a 1 by 6 into square root of 14. That is a root 14 divided by 6 is the magnitude of that acceleration of that center of mass. That is root 14 divided by 6 meter per second square is our answer. That is the 8th question. We have the 3 particles. Very clear that will have acceleration, that is a force values are given F1, F2 and F3. They are magnitude of the acceleration of the center of mass system they are asking. First of all, you want to take on that vector formula. Product of mass into acceleration is taken as a force. That's why directly forces are substituting. The vector value is calculated. If you take on modulus, magnitude of that acceleration of the center of mass, we have root 14 divided by 6 meter per second square, which are at a rest or separated to a distance. So we are matching with a diagram. Initially 2 masses 3 kilogram and 6 kilogram. Is a M1, is M2. Initially, at their distance 15 meter. 15 meter. Two particles are moving towards each other under a mutual force of attraction. Gravitational force is acting. Initially, that are rest at that 15 meter distance. But now the two are moving towards each other by the gravitational force. Where they are made? At the center of mass. Where they are made? At the center of mass. That's why due to the mutual attraction force or gravitational force moving towards each other, what distance traveled by the particle before collisions? Suppose this point is center of mass point. Okay. That M1 is moved certain distance, that can be taken as R1. M2 is going to move R2 based on that principle of moment. M1 R1 equal to M2 R2. Then they are asking a ratio of distance traveled by the particles. So that's why from our formula R1 divided by R2 is equal to M2 divided by M1. It is enough for calculating that ratio of the distance R1 by R2. M1 value is 3 kilogram, M2 is 6 kilogram. That's why 6 kilogram divided by 3 kilogram equal to 2 divided by 1. R1 is to R2 is equal to 2 is to 1. You search for our answer is first option is our answer. 2 is to 1. If the two particles are placing certain 15 meter distance, their masses are 3 kilogram and 6 kilogram. If they move towards each other by the gravitational force, they can be meet at the center of mass. Meet at the center of mass. That's why based on the principle of moment, that moving distance into mass, we are product we are equaling M1 R1 equal to M2 R2. Based on that, R1 by R2 is equal to M2 divided by M1. We will get the ratio 2 is to 1. Our answer is the first option. So next one is 10th one. Two bodies of 6 kilogram and 4 kilogram masses have their velocities pi I cap minus 2 j cap plus 10 k cap. First one velocity v1 vector. Second one velocity is 10 I cap minus 2 j cap plus 5 k cap respectively. Then the velocity of the center of mass. We have the formula for that velocity of the center of mass. What is the bodies of 6 kilogram and 4 kilogram masses have their velocities pi I cap minus 2 j cap plus 10 k cap, and second one velocity is 10 I cap minus 2 j cap plus 5 k cap respectively. Their velocity of the center of mass. We have the formula VCM vector equal to M1 V1 vector plus M2 V2 vector divided by M1 plus M2. Then VCM vector equal to the mass of the first particle is 6 into their velocity is pi I cap minus 2 j cap plus 10 k cap. Then for second one mass is 4 into their velocity vector is 10 I cap minus 2 j cap plus pi k cap divided by total mass 6 plus 4 10 will get. Then VCM vector equal to 1 by 10. 6 is taken in 30 I cap minus 12 j cap plus 60 k cap plus 4 is taken in, it is 40 I cap minus 8 j cap plus 20 k cap. Then we add that I cap, j cap and k cap. VCM vector, velocity of the center of mass vector equal to 1 by 10 of 30 plus 40, 70 I cap minus 12 j cap minus 8 j cap, that is minus 20 j cap plus 60 k cap and 20 k cap, 80 k cap. 10 is taken in. Velocity of the center of mass is equal to 7 I cap minus 2 j cap plus 8 k cap. This is our answer. Want to check our option? That is third one is matched. 7 I cap minus 2 j cap and 8 k cap. That is our answer. Okay. 10th one is completed. 11th problem. Two bodies of masses 200 gram. That want to convert into kilogram. And second one is 500 gram. That's why for 11th one, M1 is 200 gram is taken as 0.2 kilogram. M2 is equal to, that's value is 500 gram. Kilogram 0.5 kilogram. Have velocities of first one v1 vector equal to 10 I cap meter per second. v2 vector equal to 3 I cap plus 5 j cap meter per second respectively. Then velocity of the center of mass. So VCM vector is equal to m1 v1 vector plus m2 v2 vector divided by m1 plus m2. Now we are going to substitute their corresponding value. VCM vector equal to m1 is a 0.2 into velocity vector of the first particle is only the I cap value 10 I cap plus second one mass 0.5 kilogram into velocity of the second particle 3 I cap plus 5 j cap divided by total mass. First one mass is 0.2, second one mass is 0.5, that's why 0.7 we will get taken. VCM vector equal to 2 I cap plus, we are taken in 0.5, 1.5 I cap plus 2.5 j cap divided by 0.7. Then VCM velocity of the center of mass vector equal to, that is 3.5 I cap plus 2.5 j cap divided by 0.7. Our answer is going to multiply by 10 divided by 10. Then we will get VCM vector is equal to 35 I cap plus 25 j cap divided by 7. Then we will get 35 divided by 7 I cap plus 25 by 7 j cap. That is 5 I cap plus 25 divided by 7 j cap. Want to search for the answer? That is third option. 5 I cap plus 25 divided by 7 j cap is our answer. That's all about the 11th problem.